I wanted to recap my trades from the last week of April. It wasn't a very exciting week. There were 2 days I didn't trade at all, actually, which it's been a while that I've taken no trade days. I only took 8 trades this week. I did win half of my trades, so I had a 50% win rate, which is something I've been striving for a long time, and I've had a 50% win rate week before, and I wasn't able to maintain it. So we'll see if I can actually maintain it. But for me, 50% would be profitable if I can consistently keep that up. Now, this week is almost a break-even week because my wins were pretty small. I only had 2 wins that made up for losses. So the other wins were just one-to-one trades. And, when you consider fees, it's actually, when you consider a win and a loss, it's actually like red. So that's why I don't love only one-to-one trades, because my win rate's just not strong enough. But anyway, there were small wins. So it is a small green week. But I didn't really move the needle on my account balance this week. So this is Monday. I took 2 trades. I took a long, didn't work, and then I took a short right here, and that did work, and put me slightly in the green. I mean, really just barely, not enough to really make up for much. But I did move my take profit on this one, which I was really struggling with if I should have done that or not. I decided to be a little more conservative, which is something I think I actually do need to do more often. It ultimately did hit my original TP, but because it got really close right here, it's possible that if I didn't move my TP at all, I would have moved to break even, got stopped out before it went to my full TP. I'm not sure. It's not easy to look back and know how you would have done something if this, right? If that, if only you did it differently, if only you didn't, you just don't know. So I can't sit here and say, oh, I would have had a bigger win if I didn't move my take profit. It's possible I would have just had a break-even trade, and then actually had a red day. I do have a lesson learned from the long I took here. I played back my recording, and I even said I don't love it because of the sideways chop right here, but I tried it anyway. And so I think what I need to be looking for is a really aggressive move into the level, which just didn't happen here. So that's something I have to keep in mind moving forward. Those are the trades I'm looking for, just like right here. We have this really aggressive move up into the level, a quick rejection, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, Tuesday. Tuesday was the best day as far as number of winning trades I've had in a really long time. I posted a recap about this already. I took 3 trades off London low. I just kept going. I just kept here, and it won every time. They were small wins though. Like 40, I think 56 was the second one, and 40 again. So not huge winners. Wednesday was FOMC day, and I didn't place any trades. I definitely didn't want to trade my main account, so I traded my sandbox account. And I just didn't see anything that reacted the way I was looking for. Some of my trade ideas did work out. Like I was looking for a long off here. It came down a little bit, chopped around before it eventually did move up. But this just isn't the reaction I'm looking for. So yeah, no trade day. Thursday. This isn't Thursday. One second. All right, now we've got Thursday. Thursday was rough. None of my trade ideas worked. Actually, that's not true. One trade idea worked, but I got stopped out first. So I'm trying to be better about having like my pre-market plan and knowing what I'm looking for before the market opens, and trying to trade that only, but sometimes price action develops in a way where other setups become valid that I couldn't have predicted in the morning. And so that's something I'm kind of still figuring out. I was looking for a long off the previous day high. I took a trade right here, did not work at all, not even for a second. I then took a short here, which was not part of my pre-market plan. And I got frustrated because it did go in my favor, and I only got stopped out probably less than 10 points before it went to TP. And this is why sometimes it's really hard. I made a video on why it's hard to learn from your mistakes, because I don't know what the mistake was. Was it that I shouldn't have taken a trade that wasn't part of my pre-market plan? Was it that my stop wasn't in the right spot? I should have put it maybe above the swing high, which I didn't do. I just put it above the candle high. You know, if I had put it above the swing high, I would have won the trade, but it still wasn't part of my pre-market plan. So I don't know. A couple lessons learned there, sort of, mostly about my stop. I didn't think it was a bad trade, even though it wasn't part of my pre-market, what I was looking for. But yeah, I lost, and that was a max loss day for me on my main account within 15 minutes of market open. On my other account, I took a trade long. I was looking for a long off the Asia low area, the overnight low, because I had a support zone there. And the idea worked. It moved off that zone. However, I entered up here. I put my stop about 10 points below the level, and I got stopped out right here before it moved in my favor. So that was really frustrating. I entered here because price had already moved off this area. So the thing is, price doesn't always move to the level exactly. Like sometimes it's close. And so I thought, well, maybe price is going to react a little bit higher. And so I came in here, and you know, it did go in my favor significantly. I think I was about 15 points from TP right here before it stopped me out. I considered entering back here, but I kind of have a rule right now that says if the trade idea didn't work the first time, to not take a second entry. I don't take second entries on the same idea because I only allow myself 2 losses, and to just lose on the same trade idea, I don't know. I feel like that kind of sucks. And I just noticed, like, if it doesn't work the first time, it could just be choppy and just not work again. But anyways, that would have worked if I actually did that. The other trade, so that was 3 trades. I lost all of them. I was super disappointed, and I kind of felt like I was just done trading. Another trade idea I was looking for was a break and retest of London low, which I could have taken short right here, and I chose not to because I just felt like none of my trade ideas are working. I don't want to take a 4th losing trade, and so I decided against it. And if I had entered, I would have lost that trade too. And I think I would have been I was already super discouraged, but to lose all of my trade ideas would have been pretty depressing. So, you know, I don't know. I just decided I didn't want to take any more losses that day. So yeah, it was a rough day. I don't think there's much I could have done. I mean, I have some lessons learned. I need to really make sure I think about moving forward. This probably didn't really meet an entry criteria for me perfect enough for me to take that long. This one was better. So I'm going to try to, you know, just really pay attention to that in the future. Friday, I can't believe it's already May. But I didn't take any trades Friday. We broke through my last resistance zone. We were all-time highs again. I was looking for a breakout of the overnight high, but it just moved too fast. It shot up, and then even if it didn't shoot up so fast, I don't even think I would have gotten filled. I mean, it just depends. I mean, if price didn't move as quickly, maybe it would have retraced more, whatever. But based on where I would have liked to get filled, it wouldn't have happened. And then price just traded. I stopped at like 8:30. I was like, I'm done, because I was looking for a retest of the area and price just kept going up, and it was so far from the level. I figured it's not worth me sitting here and waiting to see if it comes back. So I called it early on Friday. So yeah, I ended the week with a 50% win rate. Barely profitable on the week. Really almost like break even. I don't think there's anything I could have done too differently where I could have like put a lot more profit into my eval. There are often weeks where I really beat myself up, because it's like, if only I executed correctly, I could have passed my eval, or I could have put way more into my eval. That wasn't the case this week. There's no way that I slice it where I would have passed, especially not trading a couple days. Do I have some lessons learned and refinement of my stops and entry models? Yes. But even if I hit it all perfect, it just wouldn't have been a great week no matter what, because yeah, the wins were small, 2 no trade days. So it is what it is. I was hoping I'd be able to pass an eval at the end of April. Actually, I was hoping I'd get a payout. You know, my goals, they're high. They're almost like unrealistic, considering I just haven't been able to do these things ever. But I feel like I have to set that goal, because I see that looking back, it's possible to reach those goals if I can execute correctly. And that's what's kind of frustrating, is trying to close that gap. Because it just seems impossible to close it. But anyways, that's why I have those goals they're pretty hard for me. You know, based off my trading and the way I'm going about it and everything, it feels impossible, to be honest. But anyway, so basically week after week, my goal was to pass. That's my goal, to pass the eval. I don't full port. I do trade 2 micros. I'm not trading the smallest size. But I see it's possible. So that's why I have that as my goal. All right, that was my trading week. I hope you had a good trading week, and I will catch you in the next video.